Okay, so for this project, we're gonna start with practicing drawing our animal. So to do that, what we first have to do is find basic shapes in the animal's face. So I'm going to start with the whole entire head as an oval. And this is just gonna help us draw it out best. So trust the process. Another oval here. There is almost like a triangle right here. Not a perfect triangle, but it is a triangle-like shape. We can think of this as another oval, and this as a little sliver of an oval as well. Okay, so now we're gonna just draw those basic shapes on this page, and then we'll find out if we put it in the right spot. So I'm gonna start with drawing the bottom of this right here, and just kind of drawing a little rectangle to represent the size of my picture, because our sketch in our sketchbook, it doesn't have to be the same size as our paper. It can be a little bit smaller. So this rectangle is going to represent this here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Actually, this is more of a less skinny rectangle, so this will represent the bottom of the parrot. All right, so now I'll go ahead and start with the oval here. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that triangle-like shape here, and another oval here. Oval for the body, and sliver of an oval here. Okay, so now I need to make something called reference lines to figure out where things actually lie on the page. So I'll start with this. There's like no space between the edge of the paper and the beak, so that means I can bring this way over to the very edge. Okay, and now the top of the paper to the top of the head. There's a little space, but obviously way more than there is over here. I think I did about right. That looks about the same compared to my shape I have here, so I'm gonna keep it the same. And then let's measure it from the edge of the paper to where the neck triangle is.
Testing 1, 2, 3, Mr. O'Brien is outside of his PE class.
This one takes up less than half the page. So that's gonna be about here. All right. So I think mine needs to go over just a little bit more. So I'll have the neck go to about right there. Okay, now I'll measure this.
Let's try again. Mr. O'Brien testing his PE class is outside.
And
Thank you.
measuring it to the edge. Okay, so it looks like mine needs to be scooted over just a little bit. All right, and now we see the wing has just a tiny, tiny bit of space between the edge of the paper and the edge of the wing. So I know to bring it over a little bit more. All right, so now I've kind of figured out where everything is going to go. The next thing I need to do is measure where that wing starts So it looks like mine's probably too far down because this one, so let's look at what half the page is. This is about half the page. And mine is a little less than half for where it goes to the wing. So I think this wing needs to come up a little bit more. Okay, so once you have your reference lines drawn in, don't you see that this distance is a lot more similar to this distance now? That will also help us figure out where to put things. So now we can start filling in the details. So we know that the beak comes all the way to the edge of the paper. You can start drawing that in. And when you're drawing this, you can start with just very light, sketchy lines. I'm going to start drawing in this shape here in the mouth. Okay, and then where this shape starts for the edge of the beak, it's a little over half of or a little less than half the face. So it's probably going to be around right here. And if I draw it and it doesn't look right, we can always adjust that a little bit. And then we have this part of the face, the white area. So let's go ahead and draw that in lightly and then see if we need to fix where it goes. Okay, so this shape is kind of rounded. And this white connects to the edge of the beak. I can now draw in the eye, which is all the way here on the edge of the white of the face. It needs to be a little bit lower though, because see how much space there is between this white and this eye? So I'm going to lower that because I was able to draw a reference line to see that my eye was way too close to the top. Okay, and now I'm going to add a little bit more of the details. I don't need to actually draw like the textures of all the feathers because we are going to add texture at the end, but I do want to kind of outline around each section. Okay, and once you have practiced your animal once in your sketchbook and you feel like you have got it right, you can have me approve it so you can move on to the final paper.